Well, technology stocks have been simply on fire, and doesn't my next guest know it? Beth Kindig, founder of IO Fund, is crushing it over the past year, riding the wave of big gains that she saw coming. And Beth, in fact, on Monday last week, you put out a piece on your fund being way ahead of the NASDAQ 100, also the Q. So what exactly you're doing that's not inside of those investments? What are they missing?
Thanks for having me, Charles. One key thing that we do is we bet big on one or two stocks every year. We had been building a key position in NVIDIA since 2018. And if you go back and read our analysis, it has fully come to fruition today, which was that they would lead in the data center. Now, in 2019, after we wrote that, they actually had declining data center revenue. So in order to outperform our institutional competitors, we have to take big chances and we have to be really firm on our thesis. Today, that it's history as to what NVIDIA has done. Everybody understands it. So just getting in front of those bigger moves. Yeah,
NVIDIA is a name I follow for at least a decade. In fact, I featured in my own book just a couple of years ago. What's interesting to me is how much this current spike is metaverse related. I mean, that metaverse thing when I started talking about it not long ago, I had a lot of analysts kind of play me off. It's coming in a decade. It's not a big deal. But the fact is, it really is coming to life much sooner than advertised. And it's certainly you can see it in the stock market. Are there other areas to take advantage of that?
I think the whole market is focused on gaming, and for good reason. You've got really strong early adopters in the gaming segment. I would also argue blockchain. Ethereum is technically our biggest metaverse play this year. It's outperformed almost every other metaverse stock. It's up, I think, around 500% year to date. Blockchain happens to have a lot of early adopters as well, meaning that they're first to technology. They don't mind a new cutting edge experience. So that's where I start to question Facebook, which is called Meta now. Can that audience, which skews older, move over to whatever it is that Facebook plans to build? I would question that, whereas some of these gaming companies and blockchain companies have the perfect audience.
Right. Hey, I love these cloud names, but they are pretty wild, right? I mean, volatility, they ain't for the faint of heart. You posted that many I'm going to report over the next couple of weeks. Which ones are standing out to you?
That's a really good question. We prefer to see how the earnings come in, especially with cloud. And the reason is that the cloud business model gives you a lot of clues as to what the future revenue is going to be, whether it's recurring revenue, which they will report and disclose, or retention rates, which they will report and disclose. So it's an easy one to wait and then move in once they beat or raise. What Microsoft has shown us is that we should have quite a few beat and raises coming out of this week and next week. Because as the bellwether, they crushed it on cloud, and that's forecasting that quite a few of these cloud companies will be very strong. So I'm watching for the ones that are strong, and we will likely move in after earnings.
Beth, I got less than a minute, but real quick, the shorts in general have kind of retreated. They've gotten beaten up pretty good, except one area. They are loading up on ARK funds. And, well, ARK has a lot of these big, hot, sexy tech names. Are you concerned that that might be a sign that overall this whole tech space is a little stretched, at least short term?
I think it's a gamble what the shorts are doing with ARK, and it's because the CPI number came in hot. So technically they're trying to go long inflation. That's great, but what if November's inflation numbers come in a little better than expected? The market's going to pile back into high growth. For us, we prefer to be more diversified, so we have some hedges, safe havens for inflation, and then we also keep some high growth in our portfolio as well. I think gambling on those kinds of numbers is tough, and personally we're rooting for ARK, so we hope that those shorts get burned.
Well, there's an old saying on the street, the shorts go out on the shield, so don't feel bad for saying it, okay? They like to lose big, and they've got a great track record in the last couple of years of losing real big, and it sounds like this is going to happen again. Beth, great talking to you. Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you, Charles.